What's going on, everybody? We're back with another episode of Tokyo Ghoul Dark War. So, in this episode, I'm going to go over a tier list, at least for the characters that I have played, that I have built up here, you see. The characters that I've played against pretty extensively, yeah, that's pretty much it. I will update this video as the more I play, the more characters I experience myself or play against in the game modes. But I'm going to go over this stuff that I have experienced so far, because I seen on the Reddit there was a lot of people asking for a tier list. Unfortunately, I haven't played with every character, so I won't be able to make a complete tier list, but for the most part I'll be able to show you guys the characters that I played with and the characters that I find good. Now remember, this is my opinion. This is not 100% fact. This is what I've experienced from playing the game and my opinion on it. So before we start, I just want to go over and say fuck Game Samba. I mean, I have been giving them a lot of breaks, holding out, hoping that they would fix their shit. The festival was really shitty as it is, the way they screwed over a bunch of people. But I'm really fucking pissed that there hasn't been a time limited draw in about a month. This is fucking retarded. I heard that some servers have this Shinohara up as a time limited draw. Keyword some. Why in the fuck do some servers have him up, but not all? Look, I got 21,000 diamonds. I want to spend them, but I can't because there's no fucking time limited draw. There's no point. What is the point? I'm not going to spend it on this shit right here. I would have to pull, I think you get about 12 every time, and if you're lucky and hit the jackpot, you get 24 for a 10 draw. So saying you're not getting lucky, because, I mean, what are the chances? I'm not going to rely on RNG. So you would need 14,350 diamonds is what you would need to spend just to get this bitch at 3-star. Just 3-star. I spend that much in a time limited draw. I get them to 4-star with extra shards, because you would get the initial 80. So you'd unlock them at 3-star. You get another 80, and then you'd be on the leaderboards, especially if you spent that much, and you get another 80 after it was over. So you'd get a 4-star, and you get about 1 million gold on top of it. Like, the VIP draw can go fuck itself. I would never pull on it, but whatever. Game Samba has just been being a piece of shit lately. It honestly seems to me like the people in charge of the company are children. Like, no exaggeration. It literally seems like they're children. Like, I don't get it. I want to spend money. I can't spend money because there's nothing to spend it on. And the community is just so pissed off after everything they've been doing lately, and they just don't care. We just had an 11-hour fucking downtime for the server, and it was supposed to address two things. One of them was to fix the bug in Arena where characters were doing an abnormal amount of damage, I think is what it said. And I don't remember the other thing, but what it did do was another fucking stealth nerf. Gems right here. Let me show you this. This used to be 5%, increase all allies attack by 5%. Yeah, 0.5%. Now all of them are. They added a decimal in front of each number. So everything you see here, 0.3 used to be 3, 0.6 used to be 6. Yeah, this bitch over here. This actually this over here used to be 10%. Now it's 0.1%. I don't know why they added that extra zero to make it look like it's 0.10. Maybe that sounds better in their eyes, but it's 0.1%. This is fucking worthless. The gems are worthless now. I mean, the inlays are. The gems are still good themselves, I guess. They still give you the stats. I don't think they nerf those. But the actual set bonuses are fucking worthless. There's no point. What the fuck is 0.3% attack gonna do? It's whatever. What I'm pissed again about is the lack of transparency. Like when I messaged them the other day complaining about, I sent them an email when they fucking put the Noro time limited banner up before the week before the patch came out. They had the nerve to put Noro up. They knew he was the best character in the game. I pulled on the banner twice and got him to 5-star. I spent 15,000 diamonds right there. And then they go ahead and nerf him with nothing in the patch notes about it, and then claimed that it was a bug. It wasn't a bug. They purposely nerfed him to try to make the new SSRs look more appealing. And in all honesty, the new SSRs have been pretty shit from what I've seen, but it's just the lack of transparency that's pissing me off. The community wouldn't be nearly as pissed if they were transparent with what they were doing. Like, they just do shit and don't say anything. The nerf to the feeding grounds just did it, didn't say a damn thing. I don't think so, at least. I know they didn't say shit about the gems, but the point was 11-hour town time was to fix the arena bug, because apparently there's a bug in arena where people are doing 1 damage. And yeah, that bug still exists. It's still there. So 11 hours worth of downtime to do nothing but nerf gems. But whatever, let's move on with the tier list. So I will go over 5 categories. The game modes. We got story, we got arena, we got Cochlea, we got real-time PvP, and we got Ghoul Expulsion and Organization Trials, because they're pretty much the same. And then I guess overall, but overall is going to be kind of hard. So I will start with, let's start with CaLLMeDeEce. I'm just going to finish this trial real quick before I go into the screen to show the characters and their skills and everything, because we got an hour left before reset and it's not done. I waited all day and nobody cleared it, so I will finish it off myself. But for CaLLMeDeEce, okay, for story mode, he's great. He's top tier, I would say. I would say he's definitely top tier. One of the best characters you could possibly want. Let me grab my rewards. Lucky corner. Nope. Lucky corner. Nope. Lucky corner. Hell no. Lucky corner. Alright, lucky corners weren't it today. But okay. So for story mode, he has, whoops, let me get over to heroes. He's got this dash, so if it's got missions like break the boxes before the time runs out, or destroy all objects or whatever, you can control him. I think, at least. I think you can switch characters in story mode still. Who knows if they fix that, but I think you can. If not, you could just make him your main person and play as him. But he can dash quickly to travel around in case, like, there's some matches where my Noro is too strong and he'll kill shit too fast. So the dash would be helpful. His shield is just, what's there to say about it? It taunts and it heals him. It's awesome. And I believe his passive, oh, it's when he uses this skill, which puts a slow on the target. But when he uses this, it puts a shield on everybody on the team. And if you manage to get him to 5-star, anytime you use a skill, it'll put a shield on everybody on the team. So yeah, a stun. It doesn't say that this stuns, but it does stun. At least in PvP. I don't play as him in story mode. I use him, but I don't personally play as him. I play as Noro, but I'm pretty sure it would stun in story mode. I don't see why it wouldn't. But yeah, the taunt is great, and the heal. He pretty much self-sustains heals, especially if there's like a bunch of enemies attacking him. He'll heal real easily. The more auto attacks he takes, the more he heals. So yeah, he's top tier. Absolutely absolutely one of the best. Next we will go to Yamori. Yamori is, again, I would say top tier. One of the better DPS / tanks. I would say if you don't have a good tank, you could probably use this guy as like a half ghetto tank. I mean, he does it all. He heals, he shields, and he's got okay damage. So this he does decent damage with, and then he puts a shield on himself, which is good. That's great. This puts it's just a big AoE on the ground. Pretty good damage. And then this is probably his best skill. He'll attack, I think 3 times, and then, like, say you're at half health and you use it on a bunch of enemies. Say there's like 6 enemies and they all attack you, you'll pretty much get healed to full. I think it lasts about 2, 3, 4 seconds, something like that. All the damage that you would take will instead heal you. So it's really, really good. And then his passive is the same thing as Nami. He just makes a passive heal to everybody on the team. Everybody who does damage heals for a percentage of the damage dealt. And if you get him to 5-star, it increases the crit rate of all teammates. Yep, he's great. Fucking top tier. One of the best, not pure DPS, but like a support / DPS characters. And then we got Noro. Obviously, this is the go-to guy for DPS. What's there to say? Everybody knows Noro. 200% damage increase on all of his attacks for 10 seconds. This thing hits like a train. Just look at the modifier, 444%. That's fucking, it's crazy. His modifier is insane. His passive increases allies' attack speed, and when you get him to 5-star, also their skill cooldown by, mine's at 35%. I mean, and plus his self-heal. This guy's, he's OP. There's nothing more to say about him. Kaya, personally, I haven't used her too much in story mode, but I mean, I imagine she does fine. To the point I'm at right now, I haven't had much problems in story mode at all. I might have problems with her, but I doubt it. I would say she's probably close to, not top tier, maybe like, I don't know, low top tier, because she's got crazy damage. You can't deny that. Her damage is really, really high. Her cooldowns aren't too long, but I usually have her paired with Noro, so they are kind of long, but this is 6 seconds on this one, 12 seconds, and 16 seconds. So yeah, they're fairly long if you don't have a Noro or something, but this right here, ignore proportion of the enemy's physical defense and S defense equal to the caster's attack. That's going to shred bosses. In hard mode, I'd say she'd be better in hard mode than normal, but that doesn't really matter because she's going to shred bosses. She does a lot of damage. So yeah, I would say, I don't know, should I give like letters or something, like S, A, B or something like that? Well, these 3 would be like S+, I guess, and then Kaya would probably be like S, maybe S-, but she's still really good. Tatara, honestly, in story mode, I haven't used him too much in story mode, but I imagine he's great. He's tanky as hell. His abilities, right here, he does okay damage with this one. This one does a big AoE sweep on the ground, and then it empowers his next attack, kind of like Noro's, but obviously not as OP. And then this just does damage. And then this is what's good. Increases allies the attack for all casters and all allies, which is great. And if you get him to 5-star, he'll be even better because it reduces the enemy's attack, all enemies' attacks, by the same amount. Mine's at 11.5% right now. Yeah, I imagine he would be pretty good. Probably like S-, probably about S-, something like that. Maybe S once you get him to 5-star, but there would be better. Like, I'll go over a couple team comps near the end. Nami is top tier in PvE, in story mode. She's top tier. She's fairly tanky. Her skills right here, the first skill, she just does a spin, and I guess the last hit will deal extra damage. It slows them, so that's good. This one right here just does damage. There's nothing special about it. This is what's good about it. Sweeps the surrounding area with her Kagune for 4 times, but each hit has a chance to stun the enemies. So the stun will be helpful in story mode if you are trying to get the missions like don't die or keep everybody's health above a certain percent. I don't know if they have that in story mode or if that's just in CaLLMeDeEce, but regardless, you can't go wrong with a stun. And then this right here, this is the best thing. It makes her, it's just the same thing as, like I said, with Yamori. Everybody has a passive heal whenever they deal damage. And you get her a 5-star, it increases the allies crit. So she's a lot easier to get than Yamori, especially nowadays since there's no fucking time limited draw, I guess. Maybe not easier. You get her from the organization shop, I think, or it's arena. I think it's organization though. You could farm her for free pretty much to get her the crit rate on her 5-star, whereas Yamari you have to spend a good amount of diamonds to get him to 5-star. But yeah, she's top tier. She's S plus. She's really good. You bring her with a Noro, and Noro's gonna heal the full on every single time he uses his first skill, pretty much. And then we'll go over fucking half Kakuja Kaneki, the shithole. Very disappointed in this guy. You guys see my video on him the other day. He's nothing great. Honestly, his pushback would suck in PvP in story mode, especially if you pair it with a Noro or something. It'll push everybody out of the way, and yeah, Noro's not going to do damage. But if you bring him in as a solo DPS, I guess, I don't know if this says that it stuns support units, but I know for a fact in the PvP mode, at least my Yamari kept getting stunned by this skill. So yeah, I don't know if it's just support units or what. But this damage right here does do pretty good damage, so and it's got a really short cooldown, like 6 seconds, so I imagine he'd be pretty good for story mode. He's not going to be doing Noro damage or something, but he'll be doing decent. Actually, you know what? Let's test him on. Wait, I can do this. Why can I do this stage? Well, let's test it on this right here. Oh, I'm an idiot. Let me go put him in my party real quick. We'll test and see how good he is. I suppose I won't even bring Noro. I'll swap him for Noro, and I'll swap her for Hinami. Like I said, I've been having 0 trouble in story mode, so if I die or anything like that, you know that he sucks. But let's give him a try, and we'll see how good / shit he is, and how his damage will be without a Noro in here. Okay. Yeah, that's okay damage. What happened? Oh, anime cutscene. Okay. Yeah, he's got decent damage. I mean, I'd say he's okay. That was kind of a tougher one to really judge because the enemies kept getting pushed away. So let's try like a normal destroy all objects. Let's try this one with like a basic stage where they come in the waves that they normally come in, which isn't one of them. This isn't one of them, but oh, that was cool. It pushed them all together. I forgot that it actually did that. I honestly completely forgot about that. So we have to kill the boxes. Forgot about that. I do like how his auto attack seems to be relatively quick, so it's not too bad. Could do this and destroy boxes really quick, that's good. See, I mean, his damage seems decent in story mode and stuff. It's just not in Ghoul Expulsion, which is one of the game modes that you want to do good in. Yeah, especially if it crits. If you can get some crits, look at all this. Look at all these enemies over here. Jeez. Nah. I'm not really digging it. I keep wanting to say how he's okay or somewhat impressive, but I'm just not digging it. His damage is not good enough. Look at this. We're about to almost run out of time. I mean, it's not like he's weak either. He's in my Noro's gear. In Noro's gear. It took 75 seconds to do. Let's use Noro for comparison's sake. I will throw a Noro in there and play that same match. Whoops, I did not mean to fight that. But he's level 72. I think my Noro's 74, which 2 level difference, not that big of a deal. But he is wearing my Noro's gear. Let me swap it actually. So all of the gear that's super high. He's only got 95,000 RC, where Noro's got like 150,000. So we'll and he's at +4, purple +4. So let's do it with Noro. I will actually show you the difference for how long it takes. So that took 75 seconds with him. I know you're probably thinking, well, I mean, Noro is OP, the king. Obviously, Kaneki is not going to beat him. But I mean, I'm not trying to beat him. I just want to show you comparison's sake, so you can see how much slower that takes. Just because, like, it cleared the enemies relatively okay, but that boss took quite a long time to kill that boss. Where it's not going to take anywhere near close to that long with Noro. Look at my Nami over there. Look at this. She's actually doing decent damage against those guys. Oh, here's the boss right here. See, we just one-shot that boss. Like, Nami's like doing work over here. So, 75 seconds with Kaneki, and what do we got? 54 seconds with Noro. Pretty big difference. Same team. I could try with Kaya. Yeah, we'll try with Kaya and see if how long it takes her. Because if he's getting beat out by an SR character, depending on how much, then you know that something's wrong. Because he's SSR. She's only an SR character. She should not be doing that much better than him. I mean, really, she shouldn't even be doing better than him, period. He's an SSR. She's an SR. Did I get all the boxes? Nope, one more. Okay. Like, you can see how much damage she does. Her damage is just insane. Her second skill, yeah, they've got relatively long cooldowns, but her second skill and her third skill just one-shot everything. It looks like even her first skill does, too. Which is pretty crazy. Her auto attacks are doing like half the health of the enemies. Whoops, I just missed my third skill right there, which is my hardest hitting move. So if I would have hit that, probably would have been done about the same time as Noro. But yeah, missing my third skill, my hardest hitting ability, and we still finish a few seconds after Noro. So you can see the comparison with Kaneki. He's just, I hate to say it, but for lack of a better word, he's dog shit. He's not good. Yeah, he's just not good. He's not a good character. They fucked it up pretty bad, and it's pretty depressing to see it. So we'll move on. The next one is Sachi. Sachi is in story mode. He's decent. He's let's go over his skills. This right here, draw HP from a target and stun it for 1 second if the target has a poison bleed effect, which you'll see later. So he's got a stun, which is pretty good. Deals damage to surrounding enemies. Affected enemies are prevented from next cast of healing and will receive the toxic blood effect. Toxic blood lasts for 12 seconds. Toxic blood cannot be stacked, but it will refresh again if it is applied again. And then this is relentlessly attacks in front of him, dealing damage multiple times. A target who is affected by toxic blood will receive critical damage. So it's pretty much like, this move's pretty much like the same thing as Kaneki's first skill. It can crit, and he just punches like this real quick a bunch of times. It does pretty good damage, And then this, all allies deal extra damage to targets with the toxic blood effect. So they do an extra 12% extra damage as long as they are been hit with a 2 skill, which is just like a big slash or a big AoE sweep attack that will apply the toxic bleed, and then it's done. I mean, his damage is pretty good. He's got all attack links or bonds, so I would give him probably like, you know, top tier. I mean, he's a great SSR character. Probably like S, just a flat S, not S plus, not S minus, just a flat S. He's a little lower level, as you can see, so I can't really test him that well. I do want to test out Ayato because I have not used him. I know he is a low level too, but I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna say like, oh, he's way off or whatever. His RC is insanely low. Yes, he is very low level, only level 66, but you know, he has I think he's +3 or whatever, so he shouldn't be like that low. Let's try this skill right here. Okay, we might not even actually be able to clear this. Actually, things are getting out of control. Ugh, his damage is pretty poor. I wonder if we can clear it. Well, let's go ham now. His damage is I mean, it's okay for a level 63. Look at all those crits and stuff, or 66. I mean, you know, I think he's gonna have like the same problem as Kaneki. He's just gonna be lacking the damage. Like, I like his skills. I like his moveset for the most part. I like his auto attack. It's pretty good stuff. Yeah, I don't think he's too terrible of a character. He is pretty bad still. I don't know why I said that. He's still pretty bad, but you know, he's only level 66. He's only +3, and he's not doing that much worse than Kaneki. And yeah, I honestly think he's better than Kaneki just by playing that. I know it took him well over 75 seconds, 93, but he's 20,000 less RC than Kaneki. So, and that was pretty out of control at the beginning. Yeah, he was okay. I don't know. That was kind of a high level to really test him, but if I'd need to test him, and if I can get him to a high enough level, which I don't know if I want to spend the resources, but I like his skills. The shield right here is good. I like that shield. It's got an okay multiplier. Deal damage to enemies in front and reduce the enemy's movement speed by 40%. That's okay. It's also got a pretty good multiplier, the same multiplier actually. And this one's the same fucking multiplier too. What the fuck? How lazy can you get? Repel nearby enemies and deal skill damage, reducing hit enemies' movement speed by 40% for 5 seconds. How fucking lazy can you get? Normal attacks have an AoE effect, dealing normal attack damage based on a certain percentage. See, since he's got fairly long cooldowns, 16 seconds, 12 seconds, and 6 seconds, if you don't have a Noro or somebody in there, I really think that his passive will help out a lot more in story mode. So, what did I give Kaneki in story mode? Did I give him a rating? If I didn't, I would give him maybe a B or something. A B. I mean, he might be better, but I'm pissed with how shitty he is, so he's a B. That's it. Bottom line, B. B minus, actually, because he looks cool, but he sucks so bad. So B minus. Ayato, I'd probably give him, from what I've witnessed so far, I don't know, a B plus. Maybe an A minus, maybe. I do think that his passive is a lot more helpful than Kaneki's. That's fucking lazy how all three of these are the same goddamn multipliers. But yeah, I think, what's his 5-star? Oh, when he gets to heal at 5-star, but it's only for himself. So That's not gonna help much. Let's give him a B plus, I guess. Gourmet. I actually think Gourmet would be pretty damn good in story mode. Let's go over his kit. Jabs with his Kagune, dealing damage and stunning nearby enemies for 1.5 seconds. Mid-range enemies will be stunned for 1 second, and distant enemies will be slowed by 50%. So depending on how close or far away the enemies are, they will either get stunned for longer, a little bit shorter, or slowed. Pretty decent multiplier. It's pretty good. I mean, he's got some CC effect on there. If you're trying to kite, they'll get slowed. If not, then you stun them. Pretty decent. Grants a shield to all allies to block damage equivalent to 25% of heroes' max HP. The shield lasts for 5 seconds and deals damage to nearby enemies when feast ends. No damage will be dealt if the shield gets broken before the duration. So pretty decent multiplier. You want to get him some health on him. You want to build him kind of tankier, because then he'll put out a shield on the team when he uses this for a bigger shield, and the bigger it is, the harder it is to break, so it even does damage at the end. So I like that. I like that it's doing damage with a pretty solid multiplier, and well, as long as it doesn't break, and it also puts a 25% health, 25% of his health shield. That's a pretty big shield, and it's only a 12-second cooldown, so that's pretty big. Like, let's look at him. He's got 319,000 health at level 60. Let's look at this Arima. He's got 509 health, but he is level 74, and he is +4. Gourmet is just purple, I think. No, +1 purple, 319,000. But let me see if I don't think he has any gear on, so let's put this gear on him and see how much he has. 370,000. So yeah. So he's already got a decent amount of health compared to Arima Ixa does, for this guy being 14 levels higher and +3 of those. Like, if you see, when I grow to the next level, I'm going to get about 1,000 HP, about 1,300 HP actually. So that's probably what, +3 higher. That's probably about 4,000 extra HP just from that, not counting levels or anything. Yeah, I think. Oh, we didn't look at his other skills. Zeal rapidly thrusts Kagune forward, dealing massive damage to enemies within range. If the enemy is hit, all allies gain HP equal to 5% of Tsukiyama's max HP. Another reason you want to build HP. That's a really high multiplier. Plus a heal for 5% of his HP. That's great. He's got a shield, a heal, CC, and his passive increases all allies' max HP by 10% of Tsukiyama's max HP. I mean, this guy's he's pretty good support. If you're looking for a support, like a defensive support character, this is the guy to go to. Whereas Tatara is more of an offensive support character. He does a little bit more damage. I don't know if his multiplier is going to be that high. Well, they are. This one is, but this also increases the damage of his next attack. But he also increases everybody's attack on the team. And then once you get him to 5-star, he becomes a little defensive as well, because he'll reduce their attack. But this guy he's super defensive. Healing, CC, and shields, and extra health for everybody on the team. And then when you get him to 5-star, when the Shield of Feast disappears, it causes nearby enemies and stuns them. Oh, so he gets another stun. So yeah, I mean, this guy is he's probably I'd say about an S plus, maybe S to S plus. No, we'll give him an S, just a straight up S. He's pretty damn good. Okay, we'll go next to Kuzen. Honestly, there's nothing really special about this guy. He does pitiful damage with his first skill. Does pitiful damage and slows them with his second skill. Deal damage and increase his defenses by a short amount. It's got a high multiplier, but we'll talk about that in a second. And then his passive, it reduces the attacker's attack speed and movement speed. I mean, if you're just looking for a straight up tank, that's it. Absolute trash can damage, but somebody who's just probably not ever going to die, this is your guy. Look at that, 355,000 HP. He's level 58. Let's chuck him in CaLLMeDeEce's gear so you can see his health comparison. 414,000 with 12,000 and 14,000 defense. Oh, the S stands for special. Okay. I thought it was magic, but okay, that makes sense. So 12,000 and 14,500 defenses, where this CaLLMeDeEce has less special defense and a slightly more physical defense. This guy's, what, close to 15 levels higher? 16 levels higher, I think. And I don't think I brought Kuzen above purple. He might be +1. He's +1. But yeah, this dude is a fucking tank. And then his 5-star absolute defense will taunt enemies and force them to attack the caster. So he becomes slightly better by getting a taunt once you get him to 5-star. But just this is a, yeah, he's a pretty solid brute fucking force tank. Not brute force. No. A solid wall tank. This guy barely died for me when I used him. I really liked using him. He was definitely a step up over Amon. This guy, not this Amon. Amon. I thought it was Kura, but no, it's the blue Amon right here. Just Amon Kotaro. I'm not gonna lie, this guy is tanky as fuck too, especially for an NR character. This guy is a monster tank, but I hated his pushback. It's just that I just hated his push. Let me throw him in that gear. I won't go over the lower NR characters and such, but I do want to see a comparison's sake. Where the fuck is he? There, no, where are you? I thought he was like, there he is. No, that's Dojima. What the fuck? Am I blind as a motherfucker? I'm pretty sure he's blue. There he is. Okay, 272,000 health and 10,000 of each defense. I mean, he's only level 46. He's only blue. Never brought him above +1. So if that shows something for you, like, let's see if I level him up. I'll level him up 1. Oh no, you can see how much he'll get. He'll get about 100 defense of each and barely any attack and about 1,000 HP. But this is only to blue +1. I think the upgrades get better and bigger as you go up. And his bonds are nothing crazy. They're not too good, but you can see he's pretty solid. You know, let's look at somebody that's fairly low. Like, let's look at this girl. I guess that's not too crazy defense, because her defense is pretty high. Same with Naki, it's about 8,000, but I mean, just from what I used that Amon, I didn't really have problems with him. But we're not talking about him. I'll forget talking about him. Kuzen though, I give him a thumbs up as a very tanky guy. Depending on how you are in the game, early on, I would say he is probably about an A+, and then as it gets a little bit harder, he's gonna fall off a little bit, because before you start getting fame to increase your RC and such, you're gonna need damage to clear some of these early story mode stages. I did have a little bit of difficulty clearing them in time sometimes, or clearing them without people dying. There was like a spike, like once I got in the mid high 20s, I think it was. But then once they introduced fame, and I gained like 200,000 RC from that, everything became easy again. So overall, Kuzen is early on he's great. He costs 3,000 diamonds to top up, which is about 50. I don't know if the rewards, the ones that give you double count towards your top up. But regardless, I wouldn't say he's worth $50, not even close. If you're just casually topping up, like buying these cards or whatever, because they count towards your VIP, both of these give you the initial 1080 that you receive and the initial 400, so that'd be about 1480 towards the VIP. So that'd be half of it. If you top up these cards 2 months in a row and then buy like the $3 pack for Rize, I'd say he's worth getting. Just flat out buying diamonds though, nah, not worth spending the money on that. Not at all. Damn, dude, that dude really went fucking hard in Ghoul Explosion. There was some dude that had like 10,000 contribution today, and I felt really bad because I haven't even used my 5 attempts at all yet. And then I used my 5 attempts and like doubled him in damage, and I only had like 1,300 contribution. This guy had 10,000. He must have went really fucking hard. Spent so many diamonds to pass me. If it took him 10,000 plus contribution to get to 400,000, I think he got to about 4 million damage, 437 million, something like that, or 437. I don't know if that's million or billion or what. I can't think right now, but it was 437 on the screen. I was at like 730 or something like that with 10% of his contribution. So he must have spent a lot of diamonds to pass me. But let's continue on. Kuzen, I'd say A minus, something like that. He's not great, but he's not. I mean, he is great as a pure tank, but he is lacking in damage hardcore. His damage is pitiful, absolutely pitiful. So I'd give him about an A minus. Young Arima, oh, this character, I love this character. He's great. His slashes with both Quin Ks, dealing damage to the enemies in front of him. Pretty low multiplier, but this attack hits twice. Rate, thrust Quin K forward, dealing damage to enemies in a straight line. I believe that's a pretty high multiplier. I believe this one hits twice as well. 2 to 3 times for both of these. They attack 2 to 3 times at most. I don't remember which. And then triple slash, attacks with Quin Ks multiple times, dealing damage to enemies in front of him. Increase attack speed. So this is an auto-attacking character for the most part. This skill, his passive, after using a skill, the next 3 normal auto attacks will deal bonus damage and will reduce the target's HP regeneration. So you use this skill right here and it increases your attack speed, and it also empowers the next 3 attacks from your passive. So what I do is I use this move, attack 3 times, use this move, attack 3 times, use this one, attack 3 times, and so on and so forth. This skill right here, he fires it off pretty far, so it can and it cleaves through everybody. It'll cut through everybody and hit enemies behind if need be. I don't think his other skills do. Maybe his second skill does, but I don't know about his first skill. I would give him about an S. His damage is really, really good. I'd say he is the second best SR character in the game, under Kaya, and he's a great character. He's very, very good SR character, especially for being an SR. He's very good. He's got relatively high RC as well. I'll put him in my Kaya's gear. 72,000. He's only at purple, and he's only level 57. With his bonds aren't looking that good, but neither is Kaya's. But Kaya is level 74 with +4. So, and obviously she has all 6 of the bonds at least, but she doesn't have the purple ones at least. But he's a really good character. I would give him an S, just a flat out S. Rize, oh man, this character for $3 at the beginning, 100% worth it. She's a really good character early on. Stabs forward with 4 Rinkaku Kagunes, dealing massive damage and slowing enemies. So I think it's a pretty good move. It hits not the hardest. This move hits a lot harder. Darts forward and unleashes a powerful energy blast, dealing damage to surrounding enemies. Hers is a dash, but it does hit relatively hard. This one hits pretty hard too. This one doesn't feel like it's hitting hard, but it hits multiple times. Rize attacks relentlessly with her Rinkaku Kagune multiple times, and finishing with a powerful slam. Targets attacked by Binge Eater can't receive healing effects for a few seconds. That bottom part where they can't receive healing, that's only because she's 5-star. I just got her to 5-star. Otherwise, she doesn't have that. But and then her passive, normal attacks have a chance to trigger bleed. Bleeding damage depends on normal attack damage. Honestly, I never really noticed the bleed. But this is like a bursty move that was always able to kill the mob in one hit in story mode. And this was usually did enough damage to kill him in one hit too. For only needing to top up like 120 diamonds, I think it is, $3 to get her, I would definitely recommend her. I think she's great. Definitely not top tier by any means, but still pretty good. Solid A. Solid A. Okay. I honestly don't have too much experience with this Kaneki. From what I did play with him, his damage was pretty low. But let's check out his skills. Launches 4 simultaneous Rin Kaku Kagune attacks to one target, dealing massive damage. Torture unleashes Kagune and relentlessly strikes an enemy in front of him 4 times. And then Hell Lash launches an aerial attack and burrows Kagune into the ground, dealing massive damage. So this one doesn't have the high multiplier, but it hits a few times. Actually, all of them have pretty low multipliers. That's probably why his damage was so low. Gains crit rate and crit damage for every HP lost. So that might help out. The lower he gets, the more damage he does. Honestly, I didn't know that's what it was. I never really took advantage of that playing with him at low HP. And I don't think I ever would, because I usually have Hinami or Yamari on the team. So he'll never really get that full potential. So in story mode, I would say, I don't know, maybe like a C or a C plus or something. Just because usually you want to bring Hinami and Arima, or Yamori, I mean. Like, it's either going to be so easy that Noro or Kaya or probably even Kisho, young Arima, will be enough damage by themselves, or potentially it could be hard enough where you're going to need a healer. I mean, I don't really see the point of bringing him into the story mode just to lose health for him to do damage. So I would say not that good in story mode. Alright, next is Eto. Let's see. Jump into the air, gather energy in her hands, and launch it to an enemy. Piss poor multiplier. She's a support, though. Summons an energy barrier around an ally unit who has the lowest remaining HP. When the shield is destroyed, it will burst and deal damage equal to the amount it could absorb to an area around it. Barrier increases recovery effects. I guess it puts a barrier on opponent. The main thing is this right here. Grants a healing aura to nearby allies. It just puts a big circle around her, a circle of light. And if you run her on top of your teammates, it'll pretty much heal everybody to full. It's really good. Healing light also grants a shield to nearby enemies, which absorbs damage for a few seconds. If you're looking for a support, early game support, she's the way to go. You can get her in arena. Yeah. So I got her unlocked a lot faster than I did Hinami, because you can't start getting Hinami until you get to Organization 3, I think it is. So early on, if you're looking for a healer to invest in, definitely go with Eto. She served me well for the little bit of time that I used her. She was pretty good in story mode. Yeah, she was pretty solid. Okay, we're just going to start skimming through some other characters that I have seen and played against so that we can move this video along. It's already been going on motherfucking 49 minutes, and we're not even done with one section, so let's hurry this up. We already read the moves, so I'm just going to go over what I think they are in other sections. Next is Itsuki Marude. 2 more characters I want to go over their skills, and that's it. Itsuki tosses a grenade, damaging all enemies within the area of effect and knocking them down. Deal crit damage to enemies that are slowed. Okay, multiplier. Fires a shotgun, dealing damage and knocking enemies down along its path. Call in a fire support to bomb a target location for a short time, dealing damage 3 times. And then this increases attack of Itsuki and his allies. So that's good right there. That's good. It increases the attack of your team. He's got okay damage, honestly. His multipliers aren't terrible. This one hits 3 times, but it's a huge huge location. I don't know, I'd give him a... I haven't honestly used him in story mode, at least for a while. It's been a while since I used him. So I'm going to give him a tentative B. This Kaneki right here, I'll just tell you, he's very good early on in the game. Very, very, very good. Stick with him for a while. Yeah, he's got okay damage. He's fairly tanky. And this healing passive, like Hinami and Yamori, is very helpful early on. That's not who I want to talk about. This guy is the last one I wanted to talk about. I'm on Dojima. So I've played against this guy in arena at least. So I think let's go over his skills. Swings Queen K in an arc, dealing massive damage to the enemy in front of him. Pretty decent multiplier. Violent charge, dashes forward to unleash a flurry of attacks that stun enemies. Pretty decent multiplier with a stun. That's great. He crashes down from above, dealing massive damage to all enemies within the affected area and stuns them. Even bigger multiplier and a second stun. So 2 stuns, and then this is what's going to make him great. Restores HP each time an enemy attack is dodged. So the more times enemies attack him, the more he dodges. You can see when you upgrade him to 3-star, he gets dodge. When you upgrade him to 5-star, he gets 16% dodge, and then he also gets dodge rate increases after using Perish, which is his 3rd skill. So this dude's going to be pretty much unkillable once you get him to 5-star. He's going to be dodging and just healing forever. Such high dodge. I mean, right here is 39% dodge right there. And then when you use his 3rd skill, it doesn't say how much, I don't think. Yeah, it doesn't say how much, but I'm guessing you're going to be close to 50% dodge. It heals him for a good amount, too. Does it say how much it heals him for? It just says damage, but I'm going to say he's like S tier in story mode. Okay, so now that I talked over all that, we're going to just fly through the characters and their categories right here. I will put a timestamp in the video for people to jump over to here. Actually, I should probably put that in the front, but okay, so the characters that you've seen and I've talked about, we'll go over story mode. I will repeat them one more time for the people that are going to use the time skip to get to right here. At least hopefully I can repeat what I said. Story mode, Arima Ixa, top tier, S+. Yamori, top tier, S+. Noro, top tier, S+. Kaya, top tier, S. Just about S. I would say S+, but I mean, there's Noro that's the same. Tatara, as an offensive support type, more offensive until 5-star, solid S. Hinami, S+, she's got stuns, she's got crazy heals, really good survivability. Fucking Kaneki, half Kakuja, B-, because he looks awesome and he's so shitty, so B-. Sachi, S, he's great. Ayato, we'll say B+. Gourmet, S. Kuzen, as a pure tank, A+ as a pure tank. He lacks DPS though. Kisho Arima, young one, S. Rize, about an A. Kaneki Rin Kaku, very low damage, so B-, B, B-. Eto, early game healer, B+, maybe A-. I'd say B+ about is more fair. Marude in story mode, about a B+, maybe A-. I'll say A-. This Kaneki we won't go over. Amon Dojima, S. We'll give S- because... No, we'll give him S. He's good. Okay, now Arena. A little bit more complicated. Arima Ixa is pretty damn good in Arena. I'm not gonna talk much over it because the video is already getting kind of long. I'm not gonna explain their skills or anything, but he is. I'll give a little slight thing what I think about him. He's pretty good in PvP depending on who you match him up against. He usually won't die. So if you match him up against a good DPS, it's pretty hard for him to die because of his shield and his taunt. So I would say about a S. He's not top tier. Like, there's better. He is still top tier. You still want him on almost every team. But there is slightly better, so I would say a S. Yamori, this guy is like the king of arena. He's a beast in the arena. He's S++++. This dude is a monster. It was only because of him, with the help of him, that I was able to take the #1 spot back when the guy I was playing against was still somewhat playing. The guy that was stuck in first place. He can counter the shit out of Noro. Noro bursts him down with his third skill. If Yamori uses his third skill, he's immune. Noro uses his first skill and heals him back up. He's top tier. This guy's the king of the arena. In my opinion, this guy is king. S++++. Noro, S+. He's Noro. Not much more to say. Kaya, about an S. She's really good too. Tatara, a 3-star or 5-star or 4-star or below, I would say S. He's great. He's more damage to your team. Once you get him to 5-star, I would say he's probably S. No, we'll say S-. Actually, no, we'll put him at probably about a S-, because he does give your team extra attack, which is great. And then when you get him to 5-star, he'll also lower the other team's attack, so that's good. Hinami, in arena, she's nothing special. She's got a stun, that is good, so probably A+, because she opens with the stun, and then if your DPS are able to finish them off quickly, that's pretty good. Healing doesn't mean much in arena because everything dies so quick, but her stun is what's good, and it's got a huge range, so probably A+. Kaneki, shithole, garbage. This guy's fucking trash can. F. He got beat by a fucking gourmet and a Tatara in a 2-on-1, and they were lower level than him. But then he even got beat by a fucking Tatara in a 1-on-1 later on. I watched him get beat. I think it was on video. I did see him get beat. He didn't straight up lose, but they were fighting for so long. Like, he was losing health faster than he was taking it from Tatara. He would have lost if the other matches didn't end in time. Sachi, top tier, not S+, but an S. He's really good in arena. He's got a big cleave. He's got that little the better version of Kaneki's A, because it actually does damage and it can crit. He's just a better SSR. He's like the better version of Kaneki, I guess. He doesn't have the little dash forward and push and stuff, but honestly, Sachi is almost the equivalent of a better half Kakuja Kaneki. He's an S. He's great. He's got good damage, okay survivability, pretty long range. Ayato Mask, honestly, I haven't used him in PvP, so I'll take this part with a grain of salt, but I would say probably about an A-. His damage was somewhat lacking, but he's got self-heals, especially if you get him to 5-star. He's got a shield, and he's got slows, which aren't going to be that helpful, but they'll be okay. Gourmet, I haven't used him in arena, but I have used him, but it's been a while since I've used him. But I would say he's about an A+, maybe S-, because he's got the shield and the heals and extra health and a stun. I'd say he's about A-, A+, maybe S-. Kuzen, B, I guess. He just, like I said, he doesn't do damage. He'll just keep somebody busy for the whole time. This Kisho Arima is probably about a A+ S. He's like I said, if for some reason when the match starts and their enemy comes over here and two of their enemies rush you or whatever, or if one of them rushes you and you got like a little one-on-one going over here and the other people are up in the top or whatever over here and he's back here, his third skill will be able to hit your enemy, and he'll be able to hit enemies in the back because it's got such long range. He could potentially kill two of them at once with that skill right there, or at least help one of the other matches going on. Rize, she's okay. Probably about a B. There's nothing special. Kaneki Rin Kaku, I honestly think this guy would be really good in Arena. Especially if you get him to 5-star. If you get him to 5-star, I would say he's about an S tier. Like I said, his passive he gets extra crit rate and crit damage, and once you get him to 5-star, once he gets to 0 health, he's immune for 5 seconds and can't die. And it can only trigger once per minute, but let's see what his links are. Attack, attack, attack. He's got all attack links. I mean, if you build him up, I would say he's about top tier, like one of the better ones. He'd be able to counter Noro easily if he's built high enough. His damage would be really high when he's at that low of a level, or that low health. He would be immune to Noro's one shot. Yeah. Theoretically, S tier in Arena. Eto, she's trash. Her heal takes way too long to start. D. Takes too long to channel before it starts to heal. Nothing great. Marte he's okay. He's got really heavy range. Okay damage. We'll give him a A. Amon Dojima, this dude's a piece of shit in Arena. S minus. Pretty good. Lots of dodging and healing. Okay, next, Cochlea. Arima is S. His AI could be a little wonky sometimes and screw it up, but for the most part, he can. If you're falling behind on DPS and you have a Noro on your team, he could taunt everybody in. Once you get your 3rd up on Noro, and then you use it, and then your first skill, they'll all be taunted in and pulled together, and Noro just one-shots all of them. Same could probably happen with Kaya. Yamori he's okay. He doesn't do enough damage in the later stages of Cochlea, so I'm not going to give him too high of a rating, maybe A minus. Maybe if he's in there as a support character, like to replace Hinami, it might work. But he can't be your main DPS. He doesn't do enough damage. Noro, S++++. Kaya, S, about an S. Tatara, I'm not going to give him that high. I'm going to give him an A. Because you need healing in Cochlea, you really do, especially the later stages. Hinami is S+, team. My main team is Noro, Arima, Ixa, and Hinami. You could replace Hinami probably with Yamori, but I need her stun on a couple levels. It's like mandatory. I've tried it before, but it's mandatory. You need her stun. And yeah, there's that. Kaneki, half Kakuja. This guy's shit. I'm not even going to give him a rating. Sachi, I haven't used him too extensively in Cochlea, but I imagine he'd be okay. He'd probably be able to do some of the mid 50s to 60s relatively easily, but I don't think his damage is high enough to be your main DPS later on. I honestly don't think anybody's is, except for Noro. And possibly Kaya. But I don't even think Kaya's is. You really need that. The 3rd skill on Noro to the 200% damage boost so that you can just kill clumps of enemies at once. I'm not going to give Ayato a rating because I haven't used him. Gourmet, I mean, heal, stun, shield, extra health. He might actually be good in there. He might actually be pretty damn good. We'll give him what's it called? We'll give him a tentative S. Yeah, tentative S. I feel like he could be slightly better version of Hinami. Because he's got everything that she has, but more. Just not the crit rate. Kuzen, he was pretty good in there, and he didn't even have his taunt. I would have to manually control him sometimes to run over to enemies, but if you do that, or if you get him a 5-star for his taunt, I'd give him an A+. He, like I said, he's unkillable. He's really tanky. Keisho, I would give him an A+, S- actually, because he's got the cleave, he's got pretty good damage. Yeah, he's pretty good. Rize, I haven't had her built up too high, but she was okay down there. She's got the burst from her 2 skill and her 1 skill, and the stun on her. I think she has a stun on her 3rd skill. But damn, I'm getting tired. So, I don't know. A B. Kaneki's damage isn't high enough. Not in that mode. Maybe later on in the modes when it gets a little tougher. Maybe, but then by that point your whole team's gonna be dying. So no, because you need Hinami and you need or Gourmet or something like that, or Yamari. You need a healer. So a C. Eto, early on she's pretty good. Later stages, enemies do too much damage for you to really get her heal off. So I don't know, B minus. Okay, that's it. Amon might actually be good. He's got double stuns and stuff. I'm not going to rate him because I haven't seen him in Cochlea. Marude is B. I haven't used him too much. Alright, what's next? Ghoul Explosion. Arima is nothing. You don't want to bring him in that. Actually, in organization trials, if it's a tougher one and you need a tank, he's your go-to tank. Otherwise, you don't want him. You want damage. Yamari, his damage isn't high enough. Noro, he's the king of it. Noro, S+++. Kaya, S+++. Tatara, S+++. This is the team. Noro, Kaya, Tatara. That's pretty much the team you want. If you don't have one of them, replace it with Sachi. Because Shachi's just as good. He might even be better than Tatara, honestly. I don't know. He's a DPS, and he also increases all your team's attack. We'll give Noro, Kaya, and Tatara S+++, S+3, and Sachi S+2, possibly +3. I feel like he'll be better than Tatara, but I'm not sure. Kaneki can go eat a dick. Hinami, nope, you need damage. Kisho, Arima, Young One, S+. Secret Boss in Ghoul Explosion, this guy's S+++++, because the Secret Boss only takes 1 damage. So using this 3rd skill to increase his auto attacks, and then using 3 auto attacks on this one, like I said, you pretty much need him, and you need a Neuro on the team for the extra attack speed. I do that, and I finish with maybe 1 to 2 seconds left always. So he's the king of the Secret Boss. The rest of them, their damage doesn't compare. That one's all about doing the most damage, so I'm not going to rate him. I'm getting really tired. Real-time PvP. Arima Ixa, S++. Yamori, A. He's kited way too easily. If they're stupid, they don't know how to play, he's still decent though. A- actually, because he's kited way too easy. Noro, S+, Kaya, S++++. King of PvP, real time is Kaya for sure. Tatara is actually decent in there too. We'll give him we'll say S- because he can kite really well. If you can kite and poke well with him, he's not bad. He's got long range skills, so he's okay. Hinami, I haven't used her, but her damage just isn't going to be high enough. Her skills aren't going to be long enough. Kaneki, he's okay. This is the only mode that he's even somewhat useful in. B+. No, we'll give him A- because he's okay. Sachi, he's okay in real-time PvP. He's nothing crazy because he can be kited really easily too. We'll say A. Ayato, I don't know. I'll come back. I'll update that if I build him up. Gourmet is actually okay in real-time PvP. He's fairly tanky, so A+. Kuzen is kited way too easy. This dude's an F. He's so slow. All of his attacks are melee range. He's got, like, Yamori at least has, like, somewhat longer ranges because his attack cleaves outwards. This guy, no. His damage is awful as it is. He's so slow, and everything's melee, so no. He's an F. One of the worst characters in there that I've ever seen, that I've played against. He was awful. Kisho, Young, Arima, I'll give him I've faced against him, and so we'll give him an A+. Rize, she might be okay with her dash ability and her stun. If her third skill stuns, she could dash in, stun them, poke them, and run. So I actually feel like Rize, just by her skills, I could picture her playing it right now. I feel like she'd be about an S. Yeah, I think she'd be about an S. This Kaneki, no. He's a B, B+. Eto, no. Garbage. Her damage is terrible. Marte is a S, S+. This guy's really good in PvP. Now that they nerfed the defensive set, you want to put this stun set on him and just kite people and stun them over and over again. This guy's an S, S+ maybe. Marte is really good in PvP. Believe that. And Amon Dojima, he's either going to be S+ or he's going to be like a B. If the enemy knows his passive and they just use their skills and don't auto attack him, then he'll only be a B. But if they don't know that and they continuously like stand there and try to auto attack him, he's going to be a S+, because he's never going to die. He's just going to keep healing. And I think that's that. I need to go to bed. Obviously, you can see how much I'm yawning. I'll update this the more I build my characters. I'll make another video. I just wanted to get this one done because I haven't had a video in a couple days. I know it's fairly long, but I'll put a timestamp in the video. I already did. So yeah, that's that. That's my personal opinion of the tier list. As I said, I'll update it. If there's any characters you want to see built till at least level 70, I guess, because XP potions are so scarce nowadays, I'll build them to level 70 if you want to see it. If there is somebody that you want to see, then let me know down in the comments. Yeah, so don't forget to like the video, hit the subscribe button, drop me some comments, and I will see you guys in the next one. Once again, I apologize for yawning nonstop at the end. Peace.